So yeah, I was sitting there like Neil does, and I was
Taking
just
a bubble
thinking,
bath.
yeah, taking a bubble bath, of course,
Yeah.
as a 37-year-old man does.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah,
you know, a
yeah,
bubble bath.
exactly. So I was doing that, and then I was just thinking about the Pirate Busters, and how the X-wings and the B-wings are the best Pirate Busters in the galaxy.
See, you say that, but like half of them used to be pirates, and then half of those went back to being pirates after the war. Like,
Yeah, like Nath.
we love Nath. We love Nath. He
Yeah,
is a pirate.
he is. He is. Nath is just like a better version of Jack Sparrow, a more successful version of Jack.
You, you, I feel like some people just picked up pitchforks when you said that.
Okay, well, no, I wouldn't call Nath Jack Sparrow. I'd call Nath more Blackbeard than anything. If anybody's more like Jack Sparrow, it's Hondo.
Well, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. That's
Anyway,
yeah. We're back after a long hiatus. We are back. We had some traveling going on. We had the holidays going on. Some of us were trying to avoid fires as well. So you know, I'm glad that you're safe.
I am also glad that I'm safe.
Was there a delay there, Leah?
Just a moment. I think it was on my end.
Okay, okay. Yes, I'm glad that you're safe. How was your holiday season?
It was good. I saw family. I
Hmm.
um watched Skeleton Crew. I
Hmm. Did you play
watched
video games?
watched all of the Bob's Burgers Christmas episodes with my sisters.
Including Christmas in the car.
Of course.
Christmas in the car is the best.
We watched all of them in order
Nice.
in one day on Christmas
Oh,
Eve because we were
nice.
like, well, might as well.
That's
Uh,
a couple hours.
it was a solid.
Mm,
Um, yeah, yeah.
nice, nice. And then you got into some gaming as well. Hey, Chris, what's going on, bud?
I mean, finally finished the wild card DLC for
What
Outlaws.
What'd you think?
I thought it was really fun.
It was.
I'm glad that I like did a full replay of the base game
Mhm,
before doing it. Because like you don't have to wait until the end of the game to play it. It
mhm,
could slot in elsewhere in the timeline. But there's one particular line
mhm.
that Kay gets to say if you're doing this like after you've done everything else. And it just feels so Kay for her
Mm.
to say it that like she deserves that chance.
Yeah, yeah. There's also the hologram that pops up that I'm just like, yeah, I'm glad I played this after I
Right.
played like the
The
main
hologram is what really makes me like, you get it.
game. Hmm.
You get it.
Yeah, yeah. Because I don't want to dive into spoilers for this because I know like a lot of people still have not
It's
played
not a
Wild Card.
short game, and
No,
it can be as long as you want it to be, which is I love. I love that.
I just wish Wild Card was just a little bit longer because it's roughly around 2 to 3 hours.
I definitely took longer on it.
Hey, Allie.
Hey, Allie. I definitely took longer on it, but that's just because I like kind of walking around,
Hmm. It was a cool ship.
seeing what's there to see. It was a really cool ship.
Hmm.
It was just like run down enough that it
Yeah.
felt really Star Warsy, but it still was visibly very upscale.
Hmm.
So good.
I also love that if you pissed off certain crime syndicates, like you couldn't like go and ask them for like information and stuff because like it would
So
be cut
good.
off to you. Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
Um, yeah, so I we kinda had a Star Warsy Christmas, but not really a Star Warsy Christmas. Um, my wife found some Tsum Tsums at Target, Star Wars Tsum Tsums at Target, including this one, which is Chewy with a little C3PO.
Oh my god.
It gets better. It gets so much better.
It's like when C3PO was broken in Empire.
And that's what I told her. And then you got Han in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. That's what he looks like.
Oh my god.
You've got a stormtrooper in a hallway. I'm about to show the best ones here in a second.
Oh
Uh,
no.
yeah. So then you've got Leia
My
with Vader.
god.
This one's one of my favorites. It's Ahsoka
Oh my
from the
god.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've got another Ahsoka set here. Okay, so here's Sabine, right?
Yes.
One of Allie's favorite characters. And she comes with a little Merly. Yes.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. And then you can put the Merly on her back.
That's really good.
I know. I know. Plus, who doesn't love Merly the Lothcat? Like, who doesn't love Merly the Lothcat?
Who doesn't?
I know. That's the whole reason she bought it, because she saw the Merly and she's like, I need this. Um, and then my wife uh found this person on the internet that does critters, monkeys, lizards, and aliens. And there's their card there. They've got a Kawaki, a monkey lizard. Oh, Chris, I
Very
know that
nice.
you don't like Merly, but um he made her an Athorian, a little baby Athorian. Yeah, look at the feet. Just look at the
Those,
feet.
that's so, I love
Yeah,
that.
he's working on a baby Neil too.
I double love that.
Yeah. So yeah, so my wife is going to take this. We're going to Disney World in September, and my wife's going to take this to Galaxy's Edge with us, so
Of
that she
course.
can meet Uncle Doc Ondar. Yes. Oh, Chris, you and Merle have beef, huh? You and Merle have beef.
What
Um,
kind of beef? Fancy
yeah,
beef?
yeah. What kind of beef? And then my wife and I are working on Star Wars costumes for Farpoint coming up in a couple of weeks, and so we are going to be doing blue milk ice cream vendors, and we're going to
Blue
be
milk ice cream
giving,
vendors.
yeah, and we're going to be giving out like little popsicles to like the judges and stuff.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it's a Vader pop, like the Vader popsicle, and then like
With
you can see like,
the slightly off kilter eyes, just
yes,
like the SpongeBob's or the
yes,
Spider-Mans or
exactly.
the.
My
Oh
wife
my
did
god.
my wife did the off kilter eyes because of like the SpongeBob and the Spider-Man and like the Sonic the Hedgehog, and it works perfectly for
It's
it.
so good.
It is. It is. It's great. So we're gonna like hand these out to like the judges and stuff.
That's
Oh,
so funny.
I know. And then you know me, I love my cars. I love my cars. I got a bunch of cars for Christmas, but I was at my Target the other day and I picked up a few more. So I picked up a Fillmore because I didn't have a Fillmore.
Fillmore.
I love Fillmore. Fillmore is
You
amazing.
gotta love him.
Yeah, especially because he's like the hero of Cars too, secretly. I picked up Daryl Cartrip, one of the commentators.
That's a deep cut.
It is, it is. And on the rear of the car it says boogity boogity boogity, because he says boogity
Wow.
boogity boogity, let's go racing. And then this one's actually one of my favorites. It's the Piston Cup official, and it comes with like a little green flag.
Also a deep cut, but very
Yeah.
nice.
And then you want to see a deep cut? You want to see a deep cut? I'll
I
show
do
you a
want to
deep
see a
cut.
deep cut.
I saw this and I was like, I have to get this because I have never seen him before. And my name's not Chuck, the forklift. And it actually says on the package, my name is not Chuck with cart.
Wow. Wow. I have no other words. Wow.
He's staying in the package, actually. He's staying in the package. Uh, yeah, yeah, okay. Um, yeah, so that was the holiday season. I uh, I also did some gaming. I'm close to finishing Indiana Jones. I played Uncharted Lost Legacy, which was incredible.
Very
Um,
nice.
I played God of War 2018 finally and rolled credits on that and bawled my eyes out at the end.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, and then I think so I've got a huge backlog of games right now.
As do we all.
Yeah. So I think this is going to really be my RPG year. But we do get the Outlaws DLC coming up towards the end of the month, I
We
think.
do.
Yeah. Is that
I
is
need to
that
check what the actual date is for it because I don't think
yeah.
it might be
Okay.
later. It might be in like a couple months.
Star Wars Outlaws DLC to release date. Um it says spring 2025 right now. Yeah. Game Rant says yeah, Game Rant says that DLC 2 will be in 2025 in the spring. So they're
So
probably
that
going
could
to
be
announce
anywhere between now and June.
they might actually wait until they might actually wait until Summer Game Fest during the Ubisoft showcase for it and then just be like, "Hey, by the way, you can this will drop now." Um
Hmm.
we'll see, but it's being called A Pirate's Fortune. So, really looking forward to that. Um and apparently uh it is not apparently according to sales numbers Outlaws is not selling as well as it should.
Mm. Oh
Star
well.
Wars, yeah, I loved it. I think it's an amazing game. I think they knocked it out of the park, and that's just how I feel about it. Um, yeah, but I'm thinking this is going to be my RPG year, and you might be proud of me. I want to eventually play Baldur's Gate.
Heck yes.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. All right. Shall we get into all of the craziness that is Skeleton Crew?
We absolutely shall.
Okay. So, we are quite a few episodes behind in our
We
recap.
are, but we're gonna make it work.
Hmm. But I just want to say before we dive into all the spoilers, so if you have not watched it yet, do yourself a favor, catch up if you want to. If not, whatever.
We don't control you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Um, I loved this first season. I thought it was just perfect. It was just
It
so
was
much damn fun.
so much fun
Hmm.
and had so much heart.
Yeah.
It made me cry.
Um, we
It was
also
excellent.
we also saw the twist with Jod coming a mile away.
I mean, simultaneously we did, and it was still like, oh, they didn't, you know.
They didn't like redeem him.
I kind of like that, yes, it was um something that we all saw coming, but it was also something that we never saw coming, if that
Yeah.
makes
Oh yeah. Yeah,
sense.
absolutely. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, what did you think of I mean, what did you
Out of
think of
events of the season leading up to the
yeah.
Sorry, you cut out like right at the end of your question.
No, no, no. I was just saying. You feel really good overall about the season.
I feel really good overall about the season.
Yeah.
It's just fun,
Hmm.
which is all that I wanted out of this show, you know?
Yeah, and you could tell that the kids were having fun. You could tell all of the adult actors were having fun too.
Yes.
Especially especially Wim's dad in the finale. Like Wendell is so perfect in that finale.
He's
Uh,
so good.
yeah. And even Jude Law was having a great time. Like you could just tell like he was just there just to have fun. Um I gotta tell you, the standout to me, especially towards the end, was KB. She's an incredible character.
Love her.
Yeah, I love her moms too. Her moms are great.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Um, and then I will also say SM33 is my boy. Like,
Again, like, absolutely.
mhm. So we the last time we we left off, they had just escaped the other at world, and then they
Yes,
went to find the pirates' lair underneath a spa. And
they had.
yeah, and and I gotta tell you, like one of my favorite bits in that episode is like when they land and they go, "Are they children?" And then like John just makes up something, and he's like, "They're wise elders that won't understand a single word that you're saying."
They're so. And they're not doing anything to sell the story, is the most important part.
They really aren't.
They're doing him no favors in
Yeah,
telling his lies.
and I love that they get the little lays too. Like I think
Yeah.
that that's fantastic. Um,
Uh,
and then
just a quality bit.
oh yeah. So what was his name? It was Dash.
Gosh, I don't even remember.
Yeah. Let me see here. Because I'm looking at Skeleton Crew right now on StarWars.com. Um, you have a lot to learn about pirates. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure it out. Oh, Dash Zenton.
Dash Zenton. So
Yeah.
definitely a little bit of a nod to a legend's name, just like
Hmm.
just like his Crimson Jack name, and
Yes.
yeah,
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Like as soon as I heard Dash, I was like Dash Rendar. I did the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood like snap finger thing while pointing at the TV. Um, I also love that um, we run into an old acquaintance of Jod's, and the bounty hunter is actually the voice of Merida from Brave.
yes,
Yeah.
that was unexpected but very fun.
Hmm. And then, of course, uh, she learns about the bounty on Jod and turns him into the pirates, and then it just becomes a race to find Captain Renaud's cave, um, which was very Goonies esque.
That was probably the most Goonies episode, you know? Like that felt like the whole pirate ship sequence uh in Goonies.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, when they find one-eyed
Yeah.
Willie. Yeah, yeah. I also love that there's that water and it's acid.
Pump the acid back in.
Yeah, pump the acid back in. All you hear are the
Um,
screams. Uh, that's so great. It's so great. And then of course, when they find the pirate lair, curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Yeah.
Um, it's Wim trying to ignite the lightsaber to be a big damn hero and flubbing it in the way that we've all kind of wanted a character to flub igniting a lightsaber literally since 1977.
He gets thrown in the air. It's the best.
Literally since 1977, we've been waiting for someone to ignite a lightsaber the wrong way.
Yes. I'm thinking that's a High Republic lightsaber.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I think there was just an interview that said like that the directors did very intentionally, or that like the writers and directors did very intentionally lean into the High
Mm,
Republic stuff,
yeah.
the great works, the all of that, which like we knew,
Yeah.
we could tell. Uh, but that lightsaber was very High Republic.
Hmm.
The gold, the
Yeah. So I'm looking at StarWars.com here because they kind of have the episode recaps.
right.
Um, and it says under the title, episode 5, you have a lot to learn about pirates. The subtitle to the article is, "Will the real Professor Gorlox please stand up?"
That's right. Professor Gorlox was the other name that he used in that episode.
And then the one lady's like, "You don't look like a Professor Gorlox," and like he slips her another credit.
He slips her another credit. She's like,
It's so good. It's so good. It's a great episode. Especially like with them finding the pirate lair and like going through like all the traps and everything. Like it's so much fun. Um, and I love how they're like, "Well, how do we activate the hologram? Like, how do we do this?" And then Neil finds the one thing out of place on the
Neil
table.
is smarter than Neil is smart, you know?
He is. He is.
He was in possession of the friend group's brain cell that day.
He really was. He really was. He's like that room.
Normally it's KB who has it, but she was dealing with other things.
She was dealing with her friend not being a good friend.
And her cybernetics short
Mm,
circuiting in her skull.
yes. But I love that he's like, this roast is brand new. All the other things are rotten. And they're like, oh yeah, that's right. Uh, but that was a fun episode, especially once the betrayal happens and then they figure out a way to escape. Jod pretty much cutting them down with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Anything else for episode 5?
Um, Wim got to save the day by pushing a button that everyone told him not to push.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. They kept saying, "Don't push that button." And also Jod, I do love the challenge that Jod does against
I
Fern.
love that 33 seems so reluctant to
Mhm.
start working for Jod, whereas he was completely on board with working for Fern.
He loves Fern. Like you can just tell, like he just loves Fern.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
She's great.
Hmm.
She, KB, Wib, and Neil, they're all great.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
We're not there yet, John. We're
yes,
not
that
there
is
yet.
the next episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, episode 6, we had the friend group split up in another different way. They've tried to divvy them up every possible combination.
They have.
Um, so this time we have KB and Wim and Fern and Neil. And Fern is having to like kind of not so much slow down, but figure out how to help Neil keep up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, which feels like a good lesson that she needs for going into when she meets up with KB again, and KB has her cybernetics need to be repaired. She
Hmm.
can't do it. She needs to talk Wim through it. Um,
Which
and she
I
and Wim
love
have a
that scene.
whole fantastic scene where she says that like sometimes she does need to, sometimes she can't keep up with everyone. Sometimes she does need
Hmm.
to take care of her cybernetics and take care of her like uh you know everything that she has going on. And I think that was really cool that
Hmm.
that made it in. I think that I loved that she made sure to make a big deal to uh Wim about how he had just saved her, and how that was very Jedi of him.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. And then they continued following the trash crabs who can totally be trusted.
Friend, friend, follow. Uh,
Totally trustworthy crabs.
yeah, absolutely. I just love, like, to me that just felt like a callback to the rock turtles from Ahsoka a little
The
bit.
yes,
Yeah, the rock people from God, what's the name of the
Peridia.
yeah, pretty. Yeah, I'm a Star Wars fan. I know my planets. Um,
Um, but yeah, I mean that was super fun. And then the
yeah.
big stop motion animated mega crab.
It looked
and
like
then
Tamatoa.
And then after Wim got to have his big hero moment, then Fern and Neil come in getting to be big heroes in a very solo-esque sequence, if I
I
may.
love that sequence.
Like it felt very
Mm,
like the first time that you see the Cloud Riders
mhm. Oh,
in Solo.
with the Vandor train?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's very Vandor action sequence.
yeah. But, like, part of me thought at one point they were on the Onyx Cinder. When you first see them, I'm thinking, like, they're on the Onyx Cinder, and then I
But
was
they were
like,
on one of like the tugs.
yeah. Yeah, because, like, you see Fern, like, piloting the tug.
Yes.
Um, and I just love that as they're escaping, the crab's first idea is, "I'm gonna throw a rock at the thing."
Which to be fair, not a bad plan.
No, 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 but I love that whole sequence, it's a great action sequence, and
I
then
mean, there was just so much. Like, we had that nice quiet moment and the kind of more introspective bits at the front of the episode.
yeah.
And then at the back of the episode, it's just action sequence, action sequence,
Mhm,
action sequence.
mhm.
And it worked really
Es
well.
especially when the X-Wings show up too.
Yes. How that was kind of the key that they're fighting the pirates. They're not working with the pirates like
Yeah,
they originally thought.
yeah, and then, you have Jod come out of the cave, and he's got, like, all the he's got all the necklaces and jewelry and stuff.
Jod's oh, he only had a couple scenes in that episode, but they were both really good. Is that the one that he did that he sang the shanty in?
Uh,
Or was it the next episode?
I think it's the next episode. Yeah, it's the next episode that he does that, I think. Yeah, because this is just them trying to escape. Oh no, it says meanwhile Jod has been taken captive by the pirate Brutus and his crew put on trial and swiftly sentenced to death by airlock. Yeah, so that's when he actually does the shanty.
Yes.
Yeah, and the shanty's great.
Oh, absolutely great.
Yeah. And honestly, give me more sea shanties in Star Wars. Like
Yes. I mean, every single song with almost every song in Star Wars with lyrics in Basic
Hmm.
is a creepy plot relevant song that gets not like recorded but like passed down from person to person. It's always like a creepy lullaby or
Hmm.
a creepy sea shanty. You know,
Oh
it's
god, creepy lullabies.
it's never Yoongi Whim that we get in Basic. It's always like Shriek Hooray Hooray or
Two.
Ghost Star or Mirror Bright or
Power of two. Or no, the power of
because
one.
that's not diegetic is the
Yeah.
thing. I'm talking diegetic music
Hmm.
specifically.
Yeah.
Um, I guess we could count the songs from the holiday special if you really wanna.
There's also like you're forgetting the best song ever.
Best Friends
I mean,
from Young Jedi Adventures,
Best Friends is really good.
the
Um,
collected works of Gaia.
the collected works of Gaia is really good too. Even though I never went on the Star Cruiser, I love the collected.
Nor did I.
I also love both DJ Rex playlists from Oga's,
But
but
most of those don't have lyrics either.
I know, but you're forgetting two of the well, they do, but like they're either in Huttese or
Most of those don't have basic lyrics.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but
I'm
then you're
talking specifically songs in basic here.
okay. So there's one that's in basic that you're forgetting. Actually, there's two. There's Gamorrean Girls from the summer vacation
That is Lego canon, not canon canon.
and Scarif Beach Party.
Again,
I
let's get Weird Al in a canon Star Wars though. Like
absolutely. He'd be perfect for Skeleton Crew.
he would be perfect for it. Skeleton Crew season 2. Obviously, we can't have Jod as the adult mentor figure, so
Yeah.
we get Weird Al Yankovic.
Hmm.
Have
Like,
him, put him in like put put him in like Star Trek original series level alien makeup.
oh, just like the base, like his nose is like bigger or something. Like, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
And give him an accordion and call it a day.
I I was also thinking like he would be perfect with Kim
Yes.
as well. Like I was thinking of like where you could put him. Like he'd be perfect with Kim and like also has like some low level Republic bureaucrat that's just like I don't want to do this crap anymore. Like
I don't want to be a bureaucrat anymore. I want to sing.
I want to play
Um,
my space accordion.
let's get back to the plot. So
Yeah, sorry.
the next episode, everyone arrives at Aten.
At Atten, yes.
Um,
And that's episode 7.
it's a shame that there was no at there, so that there could be an at Aten.
It's too many ats.
Um,
And
at attack at Aten.
and that's called We're Gonna Be in So Much Trouble.
We're gonna be in so much trouble was a really good title, especially because kind of a joke that I saw going around at the start of the series was Neil brings a very important guys, we're all gonna get in trouble energy to the group that they really need. And he does.
So
Uh,
StarWars.com posted a poll. What's Jod's biggest red flag? Mean to kids, obsessed with credits, still unsure of his real name, or he's an actual pirate.
it's gotta be. It's mean to kids,
It
but
is actually
all
mean.
of those are really funny.
It's actually mean to kids at 39%. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so the pirates are immediately like, it's impassable. Throw him at the airline. Um, Meanwhile, the kids are getting a very heartfelt message from all of their parents.
Hmm. Which
Um,
that sequence with the message beacon is
or no, this
awesome.
isn't a meanwhile. They're arriving there, trying to figure out how they can get in.
Mm.
They get caught. They try to bluff their way out of it. Jod kills Brutus.
He does.
Um, et tu, Brute? Uh, Jod kills Brutus. Um, takes over. Uh, tries to take over the Onyx Cinder again.
Hmm.
Sees the very nice message from the parents. Um, Fern calls unclaimsies and gets the ship back with 33.
Hmm. Which is amazing.
Then Jod beheads 33.
Yeah.
um, and and makes the kids come with him down to Atten, where he poses as an emissary from the Republic, there to pick up a shipment of credits.
Yes.
And it leaves off with him having found the vault, and they start loading up his ship. Um, and the next episode picks up pretty much right there,
Hmm.
with him sending most of the kids off to with droids to keep an eye on them and keep them from obstructing him.
Hmm.
But he takes Fern and her mom to see the uh,
The supervisor.
the supervisor because you know we've got to have a point of view character there, one, and we've got to have the person who actually knows what's going on this planet there, which is why Farah's there.
Yeah.
Which,
Which that's an interesting twist.
I loved because I totally expected it to be that like Farah didn't even know what
Hmm.
was going on. She absolutely knows. She just doesn't care.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, which made me almost more like, come on, Farah, come on, babe. You were, but it is what it is. Um, yeah,
Yeah. It was a fun uh it was a fun reveal about who the supervisor was. Um,
yes, that the supervisor was Hal 9000 all along.
yeah, voiced by Stephen Fry, by the way.
I am aware.
Yeah, and he he was great, and I love how he just plays into. So Jod is clearly lying, and like the supervisor picks up on it.
Immediately.
Yeah, and he's like, "Well, all the Jedi were deemed traitors by the Republic, so how can you say that?"
How can you say that? Sounds
Yeah.
like you're lying.
And then Fern goes, "He's lying. He's a pirate." And then the supervisor's like, "I thought so."
And then Jod hits the convenient kill droid and all power button.
He does. And
And
then
then
I love how we cut to Neil in the bathtub, and he's like, "Mom, Dad."
as the pirate ship is allowed through the barrier,
Yeah.
and it's like a alien invasion sequence.
Mhm. Yeah, it's crazy, and especially like when they start opening up fire and stuff like that, like on the buildings, and yeah, it's crazy. And I love that the kids decide, okay, well, now we got to do our hover bikes to try to get things, going here. And that's leaning into the final episode.
Well,
But
this
yeah,
is in the final episode,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, Jod causes a power outage. um planet-wide power outage pretty much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, I love that Wendell comes along with the kids on their hover bikes
Because he steals the one.
because he steals Bonch Falfa's bike.
I was so happy we saw that kid again. I was like, there's that douchey kid that was gonna race for it in KB.
Who cares about racing Bonch Falfa?
Uh, but yeah, and then like I just love seeing Wendell just grow out of his shell like during that
I love
whole
how it
sequence.
starts with him like trying to get them to stop, and then by the at the end of the sequence or right after that, you get Wim being like, "I need to go turn the power back on." Do you know how to turn the power back on? He's like, "You're talking to a level 7 systems coordinator."
It's so great. But I also love when they all make the jump and like Wendell's first reaction is just to like hoop and holler. Like they make the jump and he's like, "Yeah!"
And Wim has to be the one to be like, "Come on, Dad."
Like Wim's the adult of the group in that situation. It's so great.
So good.
He gets a lot of character development in the last episode. Well, all of the parents do, really.
I mean, especially Wendell and Farah, just
Yeah.
because we expected that they would. Um, but we had good moments with KB's moms and with Neil's whole family. Neil, one of the only characters in Star Wars to have multiple living happy siblings.
Yes.
Crazy. Uh,
Yes. He loves his siblings too. And like his
he
siblings love
does.
him. Yeah.
His family is fantastic.
Neil gets a big moment in that episode
Neil does
too.
get a big moment and a big gun.
He does. It's amazing. How many
So Neil, I
Yeah.
love they all get something to do in that kind of saving the day, getting the word out to the Republic so that the New Republic can send them help.
Yeah.
KB is obviously the pilot
Hmm.
because she's the one with technical know-how, and she wakes up 33 to do it, and
Yeah.
33 is headless horsemaning it with
And I love how his little mouse friend like climbs on KB's head.
yeah. The mouse is an important part of SM33.
Absolutely.
Um, you've got Neil with a gigantic gun
Hmm.
um, that he's using to provide cover.
Hmm.
You've got Wim and Fern fast talking Jod so that the power can get turned back on.
And I love that Wim gets the lightsaber also.
I I love that he gets to be the one who starts the fast talking because previously that's always been Fern's thing. Um, like I love that not only did these kids learn from their experiences, but also just from each other.
Hmm.
I think that that was really good.
And they learned a lot from Jod too.
They did. Um, and then they used it against him.
Hmm.
Uh, and it was two parents and two kids against one
Crazy force sensitive
force sensitive kid. Uh, I love that we got that little tidbit of his backstory. Like, I feel that that was all that we needed. I would have loved to see, because I know that they filmed the flashback scene, but also
Yeah.
I understand that, like, it didn't totally fit the flow of the story to have it in there.
Hmm. And they also
Um,
like leave it into interpretation, like if it's the clones that kill his master or if it's like the inquisitors that kill his master.
well, I think they made it, like, it was definitely after Order 66 that this kind of happened.
Yeah.
So it could be either probably Inquisitors or at least like Inquisitorius as an entity,
Yeah, because he says they made me watch her die.
which feels like an Inquisitor thing rather
Yeah.
than a clone trooper thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
I think they didn't want to have an Inquisitor scene so that there would be more discourse about how many Inquisitors there were. and what all of their numbers were. Um,
Yeah, I can see the fanboys now. Uh, yeah,
um,
that
yeah,
whole sequence with Jod in the tower is just fantastic because, um, like Jod goes through so many emotions in that.
he does. You can see that he's not happy that like KB crashes and that like he's
I,
having to threaten these kids, but he's gonna keep doing it because
mhm. Yeah,
yeah,
he even says when KB crashes, he even says like, Look what you made me do. Like I
which is
didn't want to do
such
this."
a no one made him do this.
Hmm.
He very much chose to do this.
Oh yeah. Someone said Jod's backstory was similar to Kanan's, and now it makes me feel
Yes.
a
Or
little
not
bit.
even Kanan. He was more like Ezra.
Yeah.
He was like he was a kid living on the streets who got picked up by a Jedi. He could have been like another Ezra
Hmm.
if the galaxy were kinder.
Hmm. And that's another thing too. We find out like one of the things that they talk about um like in this final episode also is um Fern and Farah have that moment, and Fern even said like no matter where we went and how dark things got, there were still good people.
Which is so that's so good.
And it's such a powerful thing, especially coming from a child that has experienced as much as she has in that
Yes.
short amount of time. Um,
There
and
was
how
always uh there was the Thielen woman, there was Kim, there was Hana,
even the
there's always
staff at the
someone.
spa were
Yeah.
like trying to get them back.
Catholics.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The big dude, like yeah. It was just really just interesting, just for Fern to have that moment with her mom and just be like, y- the galaxy's not that bad of a place. Like it can be, but it's like not that bad of a place.
And I like how hard it was to wear Farah down to the
Yeah,
point where she was the one who
yeah,
deactivated the barrier so that the New Republic could save the day.
yeah.
Um, and I cried when I saw the
Mhm.
X-wings
And the B wings.
in the B-wings.
Mhm.
Um, love the B-wing. I didn't cry when I saw the B-wings. I cheered when I saw the B-wings.
Yeah.
I had a very different, similar emotion, different reaction.
So uh, when I was watching the Onyx Cinder, like the new Onyx Cinder, because like they blow the old hall, it looked so much like a U-wing. Like I wanted to see.
It has the same engines as a
Yeah,
U-wing.
it really does. And I wanted to see like just wings like pop out of it real quick and just be like, it's a modified U-wing. That's amazing.
I do like that it was a different ship though. I like
Yeah,
that it was like, oh yeah, this is a Republic ship
yeah.
because it does have the vibes of like this is a Republic diplomatic ship.
Hmm. Yeah.
Kind of reminded me also of the Naboo shuttle.
Oh, the Padme's ship.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Both of them or all three. All three, yeah, because the second one got blown up. Um, spoiler alert for a movie that's over
Spoiler alert for a movie that's been out for
over
23
20 years.
years.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, but I love the finale, and like one of my favorite bits is after they get done everything, they run to go check on KB, and KB crashed into the school, which I thought was awesome. And then Neil has this line that's just perfect where he says, "Well, hey, Wim, at least you don't have to do assessment anymore."
Um, and I love that like they don't really show like what comes next, which is kind of the biggest complaint that I've seen about the finale is that there isn't like an epilogue, where are they now thing.
It
Because
kind
I
of
think they want to leave it open for future stories.
yeah, it kind of
Um,
ends abruptly.
but it very much does give the vibe of like at least Wim is gonna learn to fly an X-wing.
Mhm.
Um, he
I'd
deserves
l
it.
I'd love to see him, like, in a New Republic X-Wing uniform, like, and maybe even, like, go through the
In a
same class.
Resistance uniform,
Mhm. And maybe even go through, like, the same pilot class that Kaz went through. Like, that I think would be really cool to tie it in.
have him
Uh,
be one of Wedge Antilles' trainees.
because I also feel like Fern if Fern probably joins the New Republic military.
Because they're about the same age as
They're close to
Poe
10,
Dameron. They're about
Poe.
Poe Dameron's age, so
Yeah,
they're
they're
younger than Temin.
yeah. That's right, because Temin's, like, about 16 to 18 at this point.
At this point he's in his early 20s, I would even think, because this is another
Oh, yes, yes,
5-ish
he is.
years
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
after the Aftermath books.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, they would be yeah, so they'd be roughly around Poe's age,
Yeah,
which I
so they would have, like Poe, been born kind of around the Battle of Yavin
yeah,
year. Maybe they were born like a year or so earlier.
yeah,
They play fast and loose with the timeline.
yeah, because
Um,
they're around, what, 10 or 11?
Something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so this, like they would be prime resistance material. I'm just saying.
Because
Um,
I could see Fern learning from Leia, like, straight up just learning from Leia.
I think, I mean, like, and then like KB is a shoe in for any technical position, any piloting position.
Or even New Republic intelligence, too.
I keep thinking of them more with the Resistance because I just cannot see them staying with the New Republic after the centrist crisis.
Oh, yeah, because that'll be coming up in about 10 or so years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So right when they'll be reaching adulthood is when that's gonna hit the fan.
yeah, because that's the whole bloodline incident.
See, so what John's saying, KB could be in engineering, and I think Neil might either stay at AT-AT and to be their first friends, or like an ambassador to see the galaxy, or to go see Hena. Um, I have been thinking that, but also Neil is, other than KB, the best pilot in the group right
Yep,
now.
he is.
Like
He
he
is.
is the other kid who knows how to pilot the ship.
He's also one of the best shots in the group, too.
He's also one of the best shots in the group. Does he like fighting? No. Is he good at it? Objectively, yes.
Yeah, because he knows that he knows that he needs to fight with his heart. Because and that's what the girl teaches him on the other
That's what
planet.
Hannah taught him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is that he needs to fight with his heart, and yeah, like, and
Basically what I'm saying is I can see all of them ending up
yeah,
uh,
they would
on
be prime resistance candidates. Uh,
um,
Now,
Lucasfilm hit me up. I'll write that one.
here's the thing. I want them to be prime resistance candidates that help establish the Batu base so that they don't have to go through any, like, you know what I mean?
I was gonna say like let's make sure that they're able to see through until the celebration on Adjun Kloss at the end, you
Yeah,
know?
yes.
Um let's not Temin Wexley them. Cool? Cool.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Uh, like
Uh
I talked to Greg Grunberg about that. He's like, I know, I wish I could have had that moment with Wedge. Um,
yeah.
anyway, um,
Anyway.
it was a great show. It was a fun show.
It wouldn't be an episode of Starlight Beacon Transmissions if we did not go on a quick tangent about how upset we are that they killed Temin Wexley.
Snap's our boy. We love
Our
Snap.
boy.
We love Snap.
You know who else would love Snap? KB.
KB would love Snap, especially Mr. Bones.
You get it. You
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, KB would love Mr.
I mean,
Bones.
they would all love Snap, but you know.
Yeah. I think Neil would be, like, apprehensive about Mr. Bones, but then I think he'd
Oh,
warm
for
up to
sure.
him.
But I think he would like Snap.
Oh, yeah. And, like, Mr. Bones and SM33 would be best friends.
They would, or worst enemies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But it's just I loved this show. When when we were first talking about the trailer and stuff and how and even the first couple of episodes when we had Allie on, there was just something like really wholesome and healing about that show that just
And it carried through to the end.
yeah, it did. It really did. It never lost sight of its goal, never lost sight of its message.
And it
And
never lost heart, you know? Like it was just so.
and you know, as much as and we all enjoy most of the shows that we've gotten with
Yes.
with Disney Plus. Some have been better than others. I mean, this is actually
This
besides
is
Andor,
this is up on top.
yeah. Besides Andor, it's this, right?
Yes.
Because like I think Andor is
Like,
absolutely
and I think wherever I've seen people ranking the shows, a lot of people have been doing that on Tumblr recently.
yeah. They've been doing it on
It's
Blue Sky.
consistently, this is in the top three.
Yeah.
Consistently, it's like this and then like either Acolyte or Mando season one is
Yeah.
like those are the top three for people,
Hmm.
and it's like they hit something so good with this.
Hmm. Well, one of my things that I love about this show is that it doesn't lose sight of what show it wants to be, whereas like other shows have done that like a lot. Um, and I'm not gonna knock the Bad Batch for doing that because Bad Batch like had impossible shoes to fill, honestly.
And it's funny because like it had impossible shoes to fill, but also the Clone Wars is a hodgepodge.
It is.
Like, yes, it had impossible shoes to fill of Clone Wars season seven. However, Clone Wars season one, which is still good, and I still
Oh
love
yeah,
rewatching it, but
I agree.
it is a very different show
Hmm.
from where it ended up,
And Bad Batch starts off like kind of reminding me of like season 3, season 4 Clone Wars, like where things like really started
where things got
getting
heavy.
yeah. And like it just keeps that tone throughout. And then this is just like we just want these kids to have a great time and we want you to have a great time.
I say this with nothing but love and adoration. It's like the D Squad arc. They
It is.
had a conceit that they fell in love with, and
Hmm.
they told the best possible story around
Oh
that
yeah.
conceit.
Oh yeah. And it works. And I don't think anybody but John Watts could have created this show. Uh,
It was, and like the other thing, this kind of like, kind of like Andor, kind of like Acolyte, whether you love it or not, it's so clear that it's a labor of love, and it's so
mhm,
clear that like there was a really distinct vision going into it.
mhm,
And I think that's also super important.
mhm,
And the other thing that those shows did is since there's that really strong vision, they all kind of draw on kind of they all have their own source material that isn't just Star Wars, which like it's because like I love the shows that are just Star Wars. I
mhm.
love Ahsoka. I love
Oh yeah.
um
I love Book of Boba Fett.
I really like Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi. They're fun. They're
Yeah,
I like all 5 episodes of Book of Boba Fett.
yeah. Nicely done.
I
Nicely done.
but
Yeah.
I think what makes these shows so consistently like the ones that people say are their favorites is they have that really distinct using Star Wars as a framework to tell other stories
Absolutely.
vibe, and I think that that works really well, and I hope that ratings be damned, the creators actually take that to heart, that people really resonate with when Star Wars is used as a framework to tell different stories.
Yeah. I also love the fact that you had a force sensitive character in the show, but he never really uses the force except for like a couple of times. And like they
No,
kind of just they're like, yeah, he's a force loser. I mean, loser. He's a
he is a
force
force loser.
yeah, he's a force user. However, we're not going to make that like his whole personality. Like
Yes.
that's what I really really enjoyed about Jod's character is the fact that they just were like, yeah, he got burned as a Jedi pretty much, because of Order 66. And then became a pirate. And that's all you need to know about him.
That's all you need to know about him. And there's probably 100 kids just like him kicking it around the galaxy, you
Exactly.
know? Like, that could have been Keo Venzi if they'd been a little less lucky.
And 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 he uses his blaster more than that lightsaber that he found.
Because he's very clearly inexpert with the lightsaber. Like,
Yeah,
he uses it for, like, big brandishing strokes and, like, big threat displays.
yeah.
But when he actually needs to hurt people, he pulls out the blaster.
He pulls his
The
blaster
only
out,
reason he didn't use the blaster against 33 is because he knows that 33 has those shields that can stop a blaster bolt.
which that was so awesome when they were trying to take back the ship a couple of episodes before, and 33 just gets the blast shields and
33 responding to the unclaimsies with like, it's close enough. That's how you know that Fern is his favorite.
Nick Frost was amazing as SM-33.
Nick Frost was amazing, which no one was surprised.
Hmm.
No one was
He's
surprised that
great
he
in
was
everything.
amazing. He's
Yeah,
Nick Frost.
yeah, he's
Just like
he's a
no one was surprised that Simon Pegg was great as Unkar Plutt. Like no one.
Simon Pegg is an amazing Scotty also in Star Trek in the Abrams movies.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was going to say unrelated, but it is also a science fiction movie made by J.J. Abrams, so
it is. It is. That's very true.
it's about as related as it gets, while not being a Star Wars.
Yeah. Uh, I just, yeah, I'm just really happy. Like, I don't know what else to say. It was perfect. And especially after everything that we've gone through in 2024, it was just
Yes,
nice just to have this show as like a beacon of, as Jod says, tiny pinpricks of light in a dark
absolutely.
galaxy. Yeah.
And like it's fun, it's
Yeah.
cute, it knows what it wants to say and it says it
And it's
clearly.
so funny.
It's so funny. That's the other thing. This show was not afraid to be comedic because like the
Mhm.
source material that it's based on is very comedy heavy,
Yes.
and I love that.
Yes, me too. I just it was great. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just thank you. Like seriously, thank you.
They did great.
Yeah, thank
The
you,
actors
Lucasfilm.
did great. The directors knocked it out of the park.
Hmm.
The
Yeah,
writers killed it.
yeah, they did. They really really did.
I
I
hope we get more shows like it. Yeah, same, John. I
hmm
hope that this is this kind of recipe of like find a
yeah,
genre, a style, a type of story,
yes,
and translate it into Star Wars.
yeah, and I think that that's what they need.
Like this was literally just Treasure Island, but Star Wars.
It was Treasure Planet.
Um, I mean, that was just Treasure Island, but
Yeah,
space.
yeah.
So yeah. Um, Captain Longjawed Silvo.
Captain Long Jawed Silvo.
Um,
It's
and
perfect.
Wim Hawkins. I know
Wim
that that's not his
Hawkins.
last name, but it could be
That's perfect.
Wim Convorins. Um,
It's just fun.
it was just fun. I had a great time.
Me too.
This
Me.
was a very good, like, whew, fun, lighthearted, nice. Because the next show that we're getting is Andor season 2.
And that is going to be dark AF.
That's I'm looking forward to it. I'm
Hmm.
looking forward to getting punched in the face repeatedly week after week.
Yes. Me too. Especially for 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be
Uh,
fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you know, and we'll be there every step of the way to cover Andor. We really will. Yeah, because that's the next
just a
show.
couple months away.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the
And
next
then
show.
as Andor ends, we're also going to have the end of the High Republic.
I know.
The end of the High Republic initiative. They've all made it very clear that like there will other stories in this era will still happen eventually.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
but this is the end of Phase 3 is coming up.
Hmm.
End of Andor is coming up.
So
10th
in
anniversary of
Force
Force
Awakens,
Awakens and 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith.
yes. Joey, who's
Big
part of our
year.
yeah, big year. Joey, who's part of our team, posted in Discord that rumor is that Respawn Entertainment's Star Wars real-time strategy game will be shown at Celebration Japan.
And if the timeline is anything like how they showed
Survivor.
Survivor,
Yeah. We'll get it within the year.
um, yeah, because Survivor was shown off at uh, Celebration London.
That's right. That was 20 Yeah, that was 2023.
Yes, and then
And
it
then
came out. It came out in the fall of that year
that's right.
or
That's
end of summer.
yeah, because it was like August, I think.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So,
I remember because it was hot,
yeah,
and yeah,
yeah. Actually, no. Let me see here. When was Jedi Survivor released? When was Jedi Survivor released? It was April 28th, 2023 was
I
Jedi
completely
Survivor.
was wrong. So that was not long after Celebration then. So it was Celebration
Yeah,
and then that.
because
I was thinking of Outlaws. I was thinking of Outlaws.
yeah.
Um,
Um, yeah, because with Survivor, I talked about it at AwesomeCon when we talked about the High Republic.
yes.
Yeah,
Outlaws has just been more on my mind lately.
yeah. Which
Unsurprisingly, it's the
it
more
should
recent game.
be. It's a
Because
great
we
game.
still got another DLC for that coming.
Yep, and that will be anywhere from March until June, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know, especially with the way Ubisoft's been lately, especially with
Because
them.
they gave us not a lot of notice before Wildcard came out.
Yeah,
So could be February.
it
We
could
don't
be
know.
February. It could be any time, really. We could get it. It would be amazing
And
if
I
it
won't complain because Hondo Onaka.
yeah, it would be amazing if they dropped it May 4th, like just for
That
Star
would
Wars.
be honestly great.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
But now I want to reinstall Jedi Survivor on my PS5 and play it
I
again.
know. Maybe I should replay it.
Uh, yeah, like I want to play both
Use
again.
Cal Kestis as my little dress up doll again.
So So real quick, like I'm not a big fan of like Souls-like games. Like I just can't stand them. This is kind of like a Souls-like, like Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor are kind of
I
Souls-like.
mean, kind of, yeah. You
Yeah,
have your it's all oriented around boss fights. It's all oriented around very mechanical combat.
yeah,
Not a lot of stealth mechanics. A lot of just
yeah,
different moves in your fights. Whereas like Outlaws was much more. You have a whole slew of different
yeah.
skills that you get to pick from.
Outlaws reminded me, especially like with the stealth sections, it reminded me of Splinter Cell in a way, like where you had to like, just like kind of take out people silently and stuff like that. Um, I also just loved punching a stormtrooper in the face.
So
Like,
much fun.
but
I love punching Imperial officers in the face.
me too.
Um,
Me
the
too.
the Imperial forward base on Tashara
Yes.
is one of my favorite locations in the game because of how different my second playthrough was to my first playthrough when going through it,
Yes.
and how like because there's a lot of different ways to crack that nut.
Yeah. I had a hard time trying to figure out a way to get in there at first. And then like I saw like you could pretty much like rope swing in
Mhm.
if you wanted to. And I was like, "Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and then I mean, all of the Imperial locations on Tashara were so much fun to figure out because, like, really thinking my first playthrough compared to my second playthrough,
Mhm.
like, I think my second playthrough, I never got caught in the Imperial forward base, which was like,
Nice."
or if I got like spotted, I immediately just before they could sound the alarm.
Yeah.
Because that's not one of the missions where you have to not get caught.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it makes you feel super cool to not get caught. Anyway,
It does. It does. It does.
this isn't even really spoilers. Like everyone knew that we were going to be fighting the Empire, so I'm not
What?
making this one a spoiler warning. What? You mean that the scum and villainy of the galaxy don't always get along with the Empire?
The what? Yeah, it was just fun. Um, I we love Star Wars. We just love Star Wars.
That's news to me. What?
I know, I know, I know. How are we a Star Wars, podcast and YouTube show if we don't enjoy Star Wars? Um, actually, our next episode is going to be all about cars. That's what we're doing.
Mm, mm, incredible.
Yeah, actually, we could do The Incredibles if you wanted.
I'm
Anyway,
trying to think of a word that has not been attached to any
Pixar movie.
media property. No, that's a thing.
Yep.
Because I was going to say fantastic, but I was like, no, that's a superheroes.
Yeah. Which they're in Marvel Rivals now, apparently. Oh, by the way, have you played Marvel Rivals?
Nope.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, yeah. Especially,
I am morally opposed to it because it made people not like Jeff.
I love Jeff. Jeff,
Everyone should.
yes. My wife actually made a Jeff plush for Ocean City Comic Con, and somebody bought it like the
Amazing.
very first day.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Pixar episode when? Never. This is my show, damn
All
it.
love, never.
This is my show, damn it.
All
Uh,
love, all love. It would turn into a fist fight.
yeah.
I don't know
Uh,
how. I don't know why. I don't know when. It would become a fist fight.
mhm. Next up, so one of our next shows after this series does wrap up, we are going to talk about the Battle of Jakku series.
Yes, because that wraps up this week, doesn't it?
Uh Yes, yes, I believe it's this week. So give me a little bit of time because I gotta get caught up on all of them.
Ah, I
Um,
am currently fully caught up.
okay.
Um, my kind of not really spoiler review, if you want it,
Yeah.
um, lost me for a little bit in the middle there,
Okay.
but with the penultimate issue, it is cooking with gas.
Okay. Was the middle the stuff on Coruscant?
The middle was the stuff with Chandrila
Okay. In the New Republic.
and kind of the mopping up of the Anowit sector stuff.
Okay. Okay.
And
Um,
like, it's some stories have messy middles. I'm fine with it
yeah,
because it looks like the finale is going to be great, and it brought back someone, and I'm not going to say who.
I will check it out.
It brought
I
back someone.
I love Alex Segura and his writing anyway. His
Um,
fantastic.
some people have criticized this as having too many of his blorbos in it, but I like his blorbos. I like his glupshitos.
Yeah. What's Star Wars without a couple of glupshitos?
Look, I think Tommaso is a fascinating guy.
Yeah, he is a fascinating guy. But yeah, so I got to get caught up on that because like the holidays
Highly
are,
recommend.
yeah,
Highly recommend getting caught up on it.
because like the holidays and everything and
Yeah, no,
um
absolutely. And it's been weekly, which makes it hard.
yeah. That is the main issue, especially like if you are a comic book fan. If you get a weekly series, because like DC did that with a couple of things like in the early 2000s. Um and it was just really hard to like just keep up with it.
Right. Like I can do it because that's just part of my schedule on Wednesdays is going to the comic shop, but I also am relatively close to my comic shop and
I am too, but yeah.
um and my comic shop is also just like on my errands run because it's right
But
next to the butcher shop. So I go there
get your meat and your
and I
comics.
get yeah.
By the way, support your local comic shops, please.
And your
Support
local butcher.
and your local and your local butcher and your local libraries.
If you support your local butcher, you might get free bratwurst. And that is not a euphemism.
I love bratwurst. Bratwurst is the best.
I grew up in Wisconsin. If I did not love bratwurst, I think they would take me out back like a horse with a broken leg.
We'll have to explain that joke later. Um, some people may, may not know what that means. Um,
Um, Let them keep their innocence.
yeah.
But
Did you ever watch Old Yeller?
but no, seriously, my butcher last week, I like went in to just pick up some stuff, and she was like, "Wait! You're from Wisconsin. You need to taste this. I just mixed up the perfect bratwurst,
Nice.
and it
Was
was
there
perfect.
was
It
there
was
cheddar in
perfect.
it?
This was not a cheddar bratwurst. She does
Okay.
make those, but this one was just a straight bratwurst.
Okay. I mean, I love
Um,
both.
yes, this is just a straight bratwurst. She got like the spice level just right. She got the saltiness just right.
Mhm.
Perfect.
So, have you ever done because you've made Ronto wraps, right?
Yes, I did make
Have
them
you
a
done them
while
with
ago.
bratwurst?
I have not. I should.
Yeah, I think that would be really interesting. I think that'd be really interesting.
I need to make those wraps again because they were the bread for them again because it was really good.
I Ronto wraps are amazing. They're just the best.
The official recipe, which is very different from the recipe that's at the actual parks,
Yeah.
but the official recipe for the bread itself part,
Mhm.
so good. Like
Is
I
it?
would just make a ton of that and then use it kind of like pita or naan for things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was wondering if it was not bread.
It's like halfway between the two.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Don't tell my Greek or Indian friends I said that.
I'm gonna find them now. Uh, well, anything else before we get going for the night?
Um, is there anything else?
Well, we've
What was
got
your favorite episode
my
of Skeleton
favorite.
Crew?
Oh, yeah. Phew, um,
I can give my answer
yeah, yeah.
while
Go
you
ahead.
think.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
would say either 6 or 8. So
Hmm.
either specifically because of the women KB scene,
Yeah,
or I just really like the finale.
yeah. I the finale's amazing. I'm I'm torn because like I think every episode is great. Um, I love the episode with Kim, which is episode 3.
Him was really good.
Yeah, I love that one. Um,
And just the visuals in that episode.
yeah, I also love episode 5 or no, episode yeah, episode 5 when they explore the pirate cave. Um, and then the finale is just the finale is just chef's kiss.
So good.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm torn because like I guess depending on what day it is, like might depend on my answer.
What mood?
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
just love Kim. I love the episode with Kim because like that's when the kids really start to find out like the galaxy at large.
Yes.
Um,
Like it's not just Port Borgo that's like
yeah,
this. It's yeah.
and the kids seeing the X-wings for the first time was really cool
And
too.
shooting at them.
Yeah. And I love that. And the Neil piloting bit is like one of my favorites also.
Neil, I love this is like going back to like the whole structure of the show and its marketing and stuff. I love that most of the things that we saw from the trailers were of the first couple episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
There
They
wasn't a lot that they showed in the trailers of the end of the show. Like the latest thing that we really saw in trailers and stuff was the trash crabs. Was the
yeah.
but
Yeah, the giant creature.
oh,
Yeah.
there's a big creature in a Star Wars. Who could have guessed? Um,
Two big creatures in back-to-back episodes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Catholics and then the.
Yeah. And then Tamatoa. It looked like Tamatoa. I'm just gonna keep saying
I
that.
did half expect it to go shiny.
Especially like when the ship goes by. Shiny.
It was very shiny.
It was shit.
I
It
feel like
was
it needs a name other than the Onyx Cinder. That feels very sinister. Um,
I think they might rename it now that it's there on At-Atten.
Especially once they find out about Operation Cinder and they're like, ooh, really don't want that name on it.
You know those kids are gonna be terrified, like, when they finally find out
When
about
they find out everything that's happened in the last 30 years.
it. Like, Wim's gonna be like, "I never wanna leave At-Atten, never again."
What do you mean they blew up a planet?
How many planets?
Well,
What do
they
you
only
mean?
completely blew up one. Two of them were just rendered uninhabitable, you see.
Well, one was a moon.
You're right.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
and then
really,
I could
if
just
you
see
think
Neil
about it.
I could just see Neil learning about it and just, like, hugging his siblings, just, like, really tight. Oh,
Oh, Neil.
yeah, he's a gift
I
that keeps
can't believe that this show canonized the Hollow Circus from the holiday
God,
special.
it's so funny. So funny.
And I can't believe it showed up twice.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to show it in other things now, right? Like
They are. They are.
it's just space. It's just yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's there now. And we just have to deal with that. It's adding it to the long list of things from the holiday special that are canon.
Yes. It made a
Chewbacca's
lot of
family,
sense. Yeah.
Chewbacca's family, um, uh, Akmena
Yep.
from, and all of the other people from the cantina scene,
Hmm.
um, Gormanda,
Hmm.
uh, the Hollow Circus. When is Jefferson Starship going to be made canon again?
It also made a Disney Parks icon Captain EO canon.
And the Teak.
Yep. And the teak. Yes, the teak. It did a lot. It did a lot. So that is it for us for this week. We had fun talking about Skeleton Crew and
We had lots of
catching up.
fun.
We are back finally.
We're
And
back, baby.
yeah, until I go to Farpoint in a few weeks. Um,
But until then,
until then, yeah. So yeah, we are going to. I got to figure out what we're going to talk about next week, but it will be fun. I think we might just do a video game heavy episode next week. I think that
heck
that would be a lot
yes.
of fun. Yeah. Um, and we could actually dive into Outlaws, like really dive into Outlaws next week. Um,
Base game.
so
We'll
yeah,
still leave the DLCs.
yeah. I mean, as I really want to talk about Wild Card, but we will.
We can talk about
Yeah,
Wildcard.
yeah.
We can talk about Wildcard.
Yeah. It's just Wild Card is just awesome. It's just so much
It's so much fun.
fun. But yeah, so we can talk about that. We can talk about the Jedi series again. We'll figure it out. But yeah, that is it for us this week. I hope that you all had a wonderful holiday season. I'm going to be in our Discord shortly after the stream, uh, in about 20 minutes or so in voice chat if anybody wants to hang out there. John, we'll talk about it, bud. Just we'll talk. Um, yeah, that's it. Leah, anything else before we go?
That's all I've got.
Yep. Well, enjoy the long weekend. Uh, yeah, and we'll see you next week. Till then, bye bye.
Be seeing you.